So, Bridge.
Yeah.
I saw a movie today.
Wait, really?
Yeah, at the, movies.
What'd you see?
I saw it with Mary. I really wanted to see this, and I was nervous no one was gonna want to see it with me, but she did. We went and saw the very new Jordan Peele movie, Nope.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Have you seen previews for it?
I did not see previews, but I just keep seeing lots of things pop up being like, nope, 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 and I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, it was getting really good reviews. I mean, I feel like he usually puts out good stuff, but it was aliens, and in the trailer you could see a UFO and all this stuff. And I gotta say, I liked it, but it was very different than what I thought it was gonna be.
Ooh, the trailer and the movie didn't make the match.
There were two trailers that I saw. One made it look like a straight up alien horror movie, and I was like, cool. The other made it look like an alien, it's a money-making scheme, which was a little more lighthearted and not as scary. And those are very different. So then it turned out to be kind of almost neither in a way. I don't know how else to explain it. It was very interesting.
Would it scare me?
So there were parts that were disturbing, but I really don't think it was scary. The idea of it is a little scary.
Can you explain the premise?
Okay.
Without giving away spoilers?
Yes. So he has Daniel Kaluuya.
Love him.
Kaluuya? Am I saying that right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
From Get Out, and
he's just incredible.
He's in everything. Okay.
He's in everything, yeah.
He's in it, and Keke Palmer.
Love Keke Palmer. Follow her on social media. She'll make you laugh. She is so funny.
Well, she had a personality. This movie was really awesome. So they're brother and sister, and their family owns a horse ranch in California, and their horses are used for Hollywood movies. So that's part of the movie a little bit.
Okay.
And then very early on, which you kind of see this in the trailer, so I don't think this is too much of a spoiler, listeners, but if you don't want to hear anything about it, you can skip. Their dad dies very quickly in the movie, and it's very strange circumstances. So then it's just them are left. And nearby where their horse ranch is a money-making, almost tourist trappy type place. And the guy who owns it is Stephen Young, who was from Walking Dead. He did a voice on Tuca and Birdie. Did you watch that show?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, he was Speckle on Tuca and Birdie.
Oh my
And he's been in a bunch of stuff. He's great. So he's the owner of the tourist trap, and he used to be a child acting star. And then you're kind of you don't know much about the tourist trap, but it kind of involves horses and maybe some other things. And then basically, which again, this is in the trailer, Daniel Kaluuya sees a UFO, and then they are we're gonna film it and get rich from it. But then obviously there's a lot of other things that happen, and so that's kind of what is going on. Yeah.
Wait, I feel Jordan Peele always has a larger message to every movie. So what's the take? What's the lesson?
Be an animal behavior expert. That's what I'm gonna classify it as, because when you finally got to, I guess, what the twist is, in quotation marks, it was, I didn't see it coming, I guess, but it wasn't oh my god, I gotta rewatch it. It was just kind of oh, okay, that's what it is now. Yeah, that's what I'd say. There's a lot of animal stuff happening in this.
Treat animals well?
And understand them if you're gonna mess with them.
Well, I think I'm more confused than when you started, Kate.
Yeah, well, I don't know what else to say.
Keke Palmer to the
so
Keke
Which,
Palmer.
by the way, listeners, it's been a hot minute, but people don't forget, in season, might have been 14, Keke Palmer was in Degrassi, and she was specifically in the Degrassi Spring Break special episodes, and she makes out with Sav. So if anyone cares about that besides me, cheers. We love you, Keke. Bridget has wide eyes.
Crickets. Okay. I love it.
Sisters who've seen it. We are the sisters who've seen it. Sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters. Sisters who've seen it.
Hello.
Hello!
Welcome back, listeners.
Welcome back to It Takes Two, baby! Do. We got the Ritz of the song, so we call the movie It Takes Two, baby!
It takes two. You know what I was thinking about? I don't know why I feel like saying this right now and not until after we kind of get into things, but do you think you and I could pull a Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen and switch lives? And do you think anyone would notice? Or
Oh my god! No,
we're not identical,
nothing
but
more than you being like corporate, Janice, and there some people are like, Janice, there is no Janice, and you're
and
like,
I'd be like, where is the middle manager?
you're like, as a middle manager, it was like, what? And then I just like give the kids candy. I'm like, listen, we should just head to McDonald's and go to the beach.
Go on a Whoopi Goldberg field trip, a la Sister Act.
That makes me feel better.
Oh my god.
We
okay.
totally would get Kirstie Alley and Steve Guttenberg together. But Kate, who are we?
Oh my gosh. Alright, well, we are not Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen, believe it or not. But we are the Sisters Who've Seen It, the podcast where two sisters who are not movie critics look back on some of our favorites throughout the years through a psychological, ethical, and familial lens. I'm Katie.
I'm Bridget.
And all this money and people eat slugs? I gotta credit Bridget to bringing that back in my memory because she said that before we started recording, and that's a great line. And it's a real question, I think.
This movie is so 90s.
It's amazing.
And I understand why the Olsen twins looked at each other and they were like, we're done with these movies and we're gonna just go be left alone. Because, my God.
Weren't they like the youngest self-made millionaire, something like during that time? Like, wasn't that a thing?
Yeah, they have like $1 billion or something insane.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the movie?
Oh, the movie is It Takes Two.
It Takes Two from 1995.
Yes. Wow, this like came back to me.
Oh boy, did it.
It came back.
Are you doing this synopsis or am I?
Whose synopsis?
I'll take it.
Oh, thank God.
Pass it over here.
Pass it
So, the one most important thing you need to realize when you rewatch this movie or watch it for the first time is the accents are out of control, people.
Oh my God. Oh.
I'm the twin that's from New York, so I'm gonna talk like New Yorkers. And I'm the twin that's proper, so I'm going to talk like this. Like
her accent was rough.
Daddy.
I had trouble with the proper accent.
So tough. Okay, here's my one sentence from Amazon Prime that didn't make me pay money this time. Wow, Jeffy. Wow. So generous of you. From the Olsen twins, outspoken Amanda and quiet, refined Alyssa swap identities in a plan to bring Roger, Alyssa's dad, Steve Guttenberg, and Diane, Amanda's social worker, Kirstie Alley, closer together. All you need to know is it's Parent Trap meets Richie Rich.
Ooh.
And no, this is what I had that they were like, okay, 1994, Richie Rich comes out.
Yep.
It's awesome. Let's do it with the Olsen twins. And then they're like, okay. And then they're like, and then also the Parent Trap. And they're like, okay, we're in.
But and I know the Lindsay Lohan Parent Trap was a remake, but I think this movie came out before the Lindsay Lohan Parent Trap.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, it did.
Because Amazon Prime was like, oh god, now you gotta watch the Parent Trap because you just watched it. So it was like,
god,
no,
Amazon.
God damn it, go to bed. Jeez.
Okay, so let's break it down for you, okay? Because this movie is so freaking 90s.
It's awesome.
It is so wild. And I actually found, and I gotta find it again, I found a website of two twins who were like our age that rewatched it and they like live tweeted.
That's amazing.
And it's like 100 tweets of like basically what we do.
You have to send me that so I can retweet every single thing that they tweeted and live vicariously through them.
But it might be like in an article, so like, I don't know how to. Okay, whatever.
Okay. Well,
I ruined it. Okay,
all
but
right.
we got it.
Yep.
Here's what you need to know, folks. One of the Olsen twins is an orphan that we just wash over the fact of that trauma.
Yeah.
And she's tough and rugged and fearless, and her pseudo-mom is Kirstie Alley, which unfortunately can't be her real mom because she is single and doesn't have money to adopt her.
I hate
that.
That
is the most tragic plot to be like, it takes two, baby. You're like, what?
Everyone's sad. Yeah.
Everyone's sad. Okay, so we live there. And then on the other side of the world is another Olsen twin, Alyssa, who is really wealthy. And Kate, we need to figure out how Steve Guttenberg, her dad, made money, because all I remember is he said, hey, so you know those whole cell phone things? And then Kirstie Alley goes, yeah, cell phones. He goes, well, when it was first coming out, I thought, someone's got to buy the airways.
I don't get it either. We gotta ask our sister Mary.
Is someone smarter than me? Am I an idiot and I don't understand that? But he's apparently a billionaire. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't just like, I'm a little rich. They had like a castle, and it was one of many castles. So then we have prim and proper other Olsen twin. But they somehow get together because the prim and proper rich family has a camp across the lake that they have this castle. And so just so happens that the camp sponsor orphans, and this is how the two end up basically meeting, Parent Trap style, being like, what? You look like me, blah, blah, blah. And we never acknowledge we might be sisters. We absolutely never say that we were sisters.
See, the Parent Trap covered that up, because they're like, no, you are sisters. You were just separated. This movie's like, we don't know. Weird.
We don't, and honestly, it would have been so easy because the one Olsen twin's mom died and the other Olsen twin was an orphan. You could have been sisters, but I mean, maybe there was some legal thing to it, but they repeated the word, it's a miracle. Strangers that look alike. I was like, is this a bad Jerry Springer episode? Because like, what is happening? So, okay, that's wild. But in the midst of it, they realize that, like, this is so crazy that, like, we look alike, but I'm having, like, trouble in my life. And the other one's like, well, I'm having trouble in my life. And they kind of start to help each other out. Now, it doesn't start off that way. It starts off by, like, a complete mistake. Yeah. That they end up in different places.
The old switcheroo.
But Steve Guttenberg is going to marry a very horrid woman who is just, why haven't we seen her more?
She was on Friends, I think. I never watched that show, but that's what IMDb told
she
me.
Was Ross's wife that left him for the woman.
Good for her, honestly. Ross sucks. Still never watched Friends.
She continues to make things better. But she's hilarious, and this is also part of the, like, he shouldn't marry her. He needs to marry someone else. What about your pseudo-mom, Diane?
Who I met for 5 minutes. And she seemed cool.
Perfect. And then they scheme together. And then the irony of the movie is they fall in love. And then they become fucking sisters. Which they only say at the end. Okay. And that's the fucking plot, people.
Woo!
Take a sip.
Woo! Yeah.
Wow.
I know I said this to you when I don't think we were recording yet, but a lot of interesting takes on class. And I kept in my brain a little pop-ups of Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, and I was like, get out of there, you. And then again, all this money and these people eat slugs.
Oh my God. Okay. We got it. This is a line by line, get it started. And we got to get it started with the fact that there are endless, and I know you hate it, Kate, power suits that are too big for all of us. And it starts off with a little Olsen wearing a big power suit for her piano recital. And it's just...
What about the fucking, that hat with the giant flower? I was like, 90! This is crazy.
Every girl, either my age, your age, wanted that plastic garden hat with a big fake flower in the front, folded. We thought we were the coolest freaking people in the world. And this is why the Olsen twins could get into fashion, because people would just follow whatever the frick they did. Yeah. Like, I'm telling you, like, it is wild to think back that people thought that looked good. Our mom must have been like, you want to wear what?
You want
and
the
were like,
flower hat? You sure?
Yeah,
Okay.
I do. I want the flower hat. And give me those bangs, by the way. I want bangs on bangs on bangs.
Yeah, that was such a 90s cut. I was like, I had that haircut.
Yeah,
Also, the movie starts off with, like, the whole, you see, like, the two girls in their own little worlds where Amanda, the orphan, is playing stickball in the street, as orphans do.
Oh.
And it was like, it was like Saturday Night Live music happening, which was so fun.
Wait, I need to stop you real quick before you go forward. You and I know that that's stickball. One, because we're in Jersey and like, I think there's a little bit of proximity, but two, because our father used to play stickball as a kid and would probably talk about it. In that tweet article thing I was talking about with the girls, they were like, and what is she playing? Broom ball? Like, what is this?
Girl.
And I was like, oh my God, this might only be like our part of the country that people don't know what stickball is.
They had
hilarious.
like fancy sticks too. They like had painted them and I don't know, girl, but that was fun, and that immediately like literally unlocked all the memories in my brain about this movie. And then it gets interrupted by Diane, who's like,
oh my
Amanda,
God.
we gotta go to Staten Island. Well, she doesn't have that accent. I'm so sorry. But they gotta go to Staten Island. And Amanda's like, let me just hit this one. Okay? I'm a little tough kid. Play stickball. And you're like, wow.
It is. Her accent is like, Frankie, I gotta go to Staten Island. And I'm not exaggerating. People.
This is one of those
Like,
moments I wish
YouTube
we
it.
video recorded us. I would hate it so much, but that face you just made doing that was so amazing.
I mean, I was just like, what in the world? Now, this is the thing. Like, I mean, they're 9, 10. I'm sorry, but if anybody's like, oh my God, they made so much money, blah, blah, blah. They earned every fucking dollar.
Accents are hard.
Oh, but just the, like, I am going to commit to this New York accent. Hey, Frankie. I mean, I'm going to go see the butt kisses. I might get adopted. What?
Well, and then later in the movie when they switch and they're still doing their original accents but trying to do a fake accent on the accents, it's like accent inception up in here, y'all. I don't know. It's crazy. But we go to Staten Island with butt kisses. Those people collect kids, which I'm like, I hate that.
Okay.
Where's the police?
Well, I kept thinking with a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Okay. In that first scene with like the kids playing stickball, there's just a bunch of old men watching them.
Oh, I
which
said,
hated.
oh no, not the trio of old men watching the
Little
children.
Giants.
Yeah.
Go back
that's
to
what
that
I thought of.
episode. I thought that was gross. And then I also thought with the butt kisses, it's like all the kids are like, they're very dangerous and unsafe and terrible. And then Kirstie Alley's like, come on, you can have a mom and a dad.
Let's do it. Let's go meet them.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my
Butt
God.
kisses. Also, butt kiss, guys. That's
And,
like
and also, I'm
PG.
like, is anyone going to acknowledge the like traumatic experience of like orphans and foster children? And like, we're gonna move right over that.
Some of the parts got like sad too because the orphans were like, I don't know, what am I worth? Can I only do as good as the butt kisses? And I was like, this is really sad for like a 10-year-old child that they're gonna hate it.
Wait, let's talk about this. Made me really sad about our lives current day because the butt kisses are in Staten Island. Okay,
They are.
So let's just take that, and everyone's like, "Woo, Staten Island!" But let me tell you something. Staten Island's got some expensive houses, and we go to the butt kisses, and Kirstie Alley says, "Hey, it's no Park Avenue." Let me tell you, on Zillow, that motherfucking house would be $800,000, and I was like, "Oh my God, I would die to live there." And in 1995, they're like, "Look at this shithole." It's like, no.
Wait till you see Steve Guttenberg's house a little bit. It's crazy.
Oh my God. Do you remember that though? She's like, it's not the greatest. I'm like, that's like a fantastic like duplex, but okay. Moving on.
Yeah. So they're scary, but then it's fine. We flip over to Amanda, who has a private plane, and some guy. This is again. I thought this was so fucking funny, and I don't think it was supposed to be funny in the way they meant it. Is some guy who works in the airport? It's like, wow, must be someone really famous on there. Who is on there? And then it literally is the 10-year-old, and he goes, all this for her? And the guy goes, yep. And I was like, wait, guys, like, you're not being facetious when you say that. You don't think that's like too much?
This was.
She can't just fly first class on a normal plane? I'm so confused. Like, why does that have to happen?
This was the Richie Rich sandwich formula to me, I was like, okay, now we need the old wise Gandalf butler to be like, your father is not here, but I am. And, you know, in a certain amount of time, you will become Batman and everything will be fine. And you're just like, what?
Alfred. Yeah, Vincenzo. Vincenzo is a peach, though.
But can you imagine, Kate, if, like, you finish your piano recital at 9, and then you're like, I got a jet, literally on my own, a private plane,
all alone. Here we go.
And then, first of all, let's talk about what a shitty dad she has. Didn't go to the big piano recital.
Fucking hate
and then
that.
Doesn't even show up to pick her up when she comes from clearly a boarding school in another state. That, like, what, you haven't seen your daughter forever? And he's like, so sorry, dear, how you doing? By the way, you have new and mom.
I know.
He was horrible.
Yeah, and he keeps being like, I'm such a bad dad. I know. Doesn't that make it better? Because I know. I was like, no, Steve Guttenberg. They're just like the rest of them, all right? Go fly yourself into fucking space. Jesus. God.
Oh my God. Well, then you're right. Then she has the one at Olsen has an existential crisis about, like, I feel like, you know, everybody wants a puppy. They want a baby. They don't want me, so the best I'm gonna get is butt kisses. And you're like, oh my God. But don't worry. We just put jazz saxophone music behind and we move on to the next scene.
Kirstie Alley's like, let's go to camp. Whee! The buses are painted.
She's like, the buses are ready.
And
And then we meet Kate, who is so incredible, Clarice Kensington.
Bridget, I want to hear your thoughts on the seashell boob outfit, because that's a look. I'll tell you that right now.
So first of all, this is, like, kind of sad about, like, the evolution of women's bodies. It brought back a memory as a kid.
Uh-oh.
Where I remember thinking, this woman has huge boobs.
Oh.
And that, like, seashell thing. And now, when I look at her, I was like, she looks like she has a normal body.
She's pretty normal, yeah.
But it's because, like, boobs are so big now. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. So I was like, wow, that's kind of interesting and weird. But what a look. Shoulder blades, sailor, seashells, and it was all, Kate, a fucking power suit.
It was, like, a power suit.
God.
Would you wear that to an office corporate meeting?
So I would
just picture walking in with the seashell boobs.
I would absolutely wear it, but I'd want to wear, like, long gaucho pants with it.
Okay, that's
and, like,
fair.
make it cool.
All right. I mean, as long as the seashells are there. I think that's the staple of the
And I'll wear a nostalgic necklace with sandals, like silver sandals, because I definitely had that.
Puka shell necklace. Stop. Oh my God. Yeah, so we meet her right away, and she's very like, oh my God.
Wow, she was a lot.
That's just like a lot of energy.
I feel like her agent was like, listen, you gotta overact from scene 1 to scene 100.
Yeah.
There is no buildup. There's no surprise. There's no shock and awe. You're the worst from the beginning to the end, and you gotta be loud the entire time.
So loud. Oh my God.
I cannot. And how about the whole, like, first 20 minutes? No wonder her mother died with this taste decorating the house. I was like, words matter.
Listen, y'all say that, okay? That's exactly what I wrote in my notes. I said, y'all say that, alright? And then Alyssa rightfully is like, the fuck is this shit? And then she calls Steve Guttenberg, and now he's got all the time in the world to go and, like, talk with her. And she's like, who is she? And then that's when she finds out. He's like, we're getting married next month. And then she fucking faints.
Oh.
Which is another thing I remember from this movie.
We gotta bring it back, people.
Amazing.
So let me tell you, it's 2022. I don't care how old you are. You're in an awkward situation. You want to get out of it. And normally, you look at your phone. Oh, you get a phone call. Oh, look over there. No. You Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen that fucking hand to your face, and you just pretend to faint and fall on the ground, and you just sell the shit out of it. Because I gotta say, I remember that so hard from this movie. I laughed so hard, and it was used so well in the movie.
Yeah, it was great.
Oh my God.
And then Steve Guttenberg just goes, she does this. I don't know. And then, I'm sorry, I sided with Clarice with this. She's like, she's just trying to get attention. Let's just leave her. And then he's like, what? And she's like, trust me. And I was like, actually, yeah, you should trust her because it is a very attention-seeking behavior.
Katie!
I like it, okay? I'm just saying. Okay, but this is what eventually prompts Alyssa to be like, my life sucks. I'm so rich. Woe is me. I'm gonna run away. And her version of running away is to walk, like, probably only 50 feet and sit near the lake. And
I mean, it's a good tactic. It's a good start.
all right. I mean, I would have kept walking.
She's 9, Katie. Stop being so mean to these child actors.
So sorry. I could be way worse, but I'm not. And then Amanda, all the little orphans running rampant around the camp, because this is the only joy they get in their sad lives, and it's really sad and I hate it.
Jesus Christ.
This would be me, by the way. I would be in this group where they're like, that house is haunted, and every full moon this ghost lady comes and eats someone.
You would tell that story.
That would be me. I'd start that rumor, and then I would definitely make gambling bets to send someone over to the house to do it. And so Amanda's like tough and cool, and she's like, no way, I'm calling your bluff. I'm gonna go and see if it's haunted. And I honestly, like, sometimes the switcheroo setups are lame, but I think it's like really fun in this one.
It was really fun because Vincenzo being like, there's the little orphan girl. And I was like, this is great. And then it was great because it wasn't like annoying where then she was like stuck there for like 10 days. It was like she like got hoisted in and then ran out in the most appropriate time. And you're like, I believe it. I like it.
Yeah. And then Clarice dresses up as a ghost, as you do. And they play Twilight Zone music. It's fucking awesome. And then Alyssa, the rich one, gets picked up by Diane. She's like, there you are. Oh my gosh, I've been looking for you. And Alyssa has no stranger danger instinct.
Okay, Kate,
none at all.
I'm so happy you brought up stranger danger.
None at all.
This is not a good movie to say, hey kids, I want to teach you about stranger danger. Let's watch It Takes Two. They will get mixed messages.
Do the opposite of what they
won't do that. They will like strangers.
Yeah.
And not know dangers.
Like, Diane's cool, but like, you know, you just met her. This is crazy. Maybe run back home. Call her maybe. Not good. So, yeah, so then that's how they have the mix up. And then they literally, like, both get in this situation where they're running away screaming. And then that's when they, boom, like, run into each other. And then this is where they finally meet each other. And
they never
don't
question if they're fucking sisters.
Nope. It's never a thought in the head.
Kate, what happens when you find other you? Mewtwo Katie.
Well, Bridge, actually, I'm glad you bring this up because this was the plot of Jordan Peele's really great movie that I don't think enough people appreciated called Us. And that was a horror movie. And if I ever meet my twin, I will kill it because it's gonna kill me, I think.
Oh, like it's like a genetic version of you that's no good?
It's like your doppelganger, but like it's gonna kill you.
Why is it gonna kill you?
That's what it did in the movie. I don't know. That's just based off
whatever
of Jordan Peele
tells you to do, you gotta do it.
Jordan Peele is life. Okay.
Well, I love that they basically like slam into each other, and then I gotta give it up to Amanda because she's like, wait, I guess I'll go along with this plan even though like it doesn't actually benefit me. Like I was kind of confused in the beginning because I felt like it benefited Alyssa more.
But Amanda got to like, you know, sleep in a bed that probably didn't have bed bugs as the orphans do. And
Okay.
You know, eating nutritious food instead of only mac and cheese, which I had concerns about the orphans' nutrition, but that's a separate thing.
That's a separate thing. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I think she got
but I thought
stuff.
she was cool. She was like, I'm down. Yeah, fuck this stepmom. I'll go handle this. And you're like, Amanda, you're always down.
Well, and again, Alyssa literally meets Amanda, and then 1 minute later, she's having a therapy session with her, and I'm like, Alyssa, maybe like be a little more guarded, but okay, like it's fucking fine. Good luck in life. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, I love them being switched because I think there's a lot of good setups. Like they have Sloppy Joe, Sloppy Joe, yeah.
Sloppy Joe.
Yes, that's the second SNL reference.
Love it.
Okay.
Also, I gotta say, when I think a meal is delicious and I come from my prim and proper lifestyle, I just eat it normal. I don't shove it into my face.
Weird.
Like all over. Wouldn't you say? I thought that was a little over the top.
If it's a slap a Joe, slap a Joe, and everybody else is doing it, I might. I don't know.
Okay.
It's called the mess hall bridge. I don't know.
Well, she was like, I could finally let loose, which I gotta say, I don't really think she had any rules anyway, so I was like, well, you do you, Alyssa.
Yeah, damn.
And Kate, let's talk about, real quick, how every outfit was very baggy.
Oh, yes. Oh my god, Diane's outfits. I'm like, you are swimming in those shirts, girl.
My god. I mean, nothing fit anybody. Get the size that fits you.
Yeah, not
Nothing
the
fit.
double size.
Triples. Well, okay, moving on. So, the engagement party, which, wow.
Oh my god.
Amanda as Alyssa played fantastic.
Amazing.
From the beginning to the end, and we have an excellent quote. Are you ready for the one quote?
I hope it's what I wrote down.
Have I made myself clear? Clear as glass. In fact, I could see right through you. Stupid.
Okay, that's not what I wrote down, but that's a great one. I wrote down when she immediately gets the escargot, and she, like, puts it in her mouth, and not even half a second later, she then goes, this tastes like a balloon. She says like that. It's so great. Oh, I love making fun of rich people. Piano playing, iconic.
Okay, so first of all, when your new stepmother, who you don't like, and you play your twin that no one knows exists, okay? And they're like, Muffy and I think you should play a piano recital. And you're like, hey, I don't really know how to play it. They were like, no, you gotta do it. And she's like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. And I gotta say, I would never think that fast on my feet.
Me neither.
She makes a joke about chopping.
Yep.
And then she bangs that freaking keyboard like she's little Kanye West. Like, it was freaking awesome. I mean, right?
I love it too, because all the adults are like, instead of the adults being like, that seems weird that, like, this girl doesn't know how to play the piano, they're all like, oh my god, it's a cry for help. Like, they're stupid, kind of, you know?
Okay, Steve Guttenberg, he must have been high on drugs, because he was like, I think she's looking for more attention. I was like, you talk weird. Like, I don't know what's happening, but you're so fake and it's weird. Like, do you exist in real life, Steve? Are you an alien?
Unfortunately, he does in real life, and he voted for Trump, so...
Ew, really? Him and Kirstie
And
Alley?
Kirstie, isn't that, like, really terrible? I'm like, what happened on the set of It Takes Two that made you guys become terrible people? I want to know.
Oh my god.
I want to know right now. But we don't have time for that, because we're back at the camp with the orphans, and the only thing that brings them joy in life is group activities, which is charades!
Oh my god.
So
okay, we have all felt that moment where you're like, okay, you have the piece of paper, and you, like, are nervous, and you get up there and say one thing, and then a giant crowd of people are like, song! I felt like that moment was like when we would go to Aunt Chris's. And do you remember the intensity of the freaking Turbot family charades?
Yeah.
It was like, how many syllables? Keep going!
Yeah, but this was great, and this is where, again, we get the fainting, and I'm not gonna lie, would I guess London Bridge is falling down? No, I would say, do you need a doctor? Homegirl fainted, is anyone worried about it? Alright.
I freaking loved it, and I just thought that one, like, girl orphan character was so funny.
Was her name Carmen?
Carmen was just like,
she's
very
the one
much...
who goes, girl, when are you gonna get a life?
Oh my god, I loved her. Okay, so then we slowly get to the fact that Kirstie Alley, I feel like, makes some weird comments, and I want to talk about them.
Let's talk about them.
She makes a lot of comments about, like, you know, I want to fall in love, that World Series, over the fence, love. I can't even get the quote right, because it was so fucking annoying.
It's a long quote.
It's a long quote, and by the way, we remember the same Kirstie Alley character all the way back with Look Who's Talking, okay? Who's like, man, man, man. And then she's once again being like, how am I supposed to catch a guy, Amanda? And like, I can't adopt you because I don't have a man. And don't you want a father and a mother? I mean, I'm like, and then she gets weird. And she's like, hey, you know what we should do? Let's go spy on the boys. And I'm like, ew, you're an adult, ma'am. Like, she was like trying to be like cool. I was like, ew, I hate this.
Yeah, that was a weird. But also, like, Steve Guttenberg was weird, so I was like, you guys do go together.
But it's like, okay, we get it, Kirstie Alley. Like, you need to be set up by a 9-year-old because whatever, you're not going online dating. Fine.
Life's hard.
Okay? Perfect timing, though, because our amazing Clarice Kensington is going to go to New York City to plan her wedding, and she'll be gone, and they could set up a rendezvous.
Yes. And
a meet cute, if you will.
It is definitely a meet cute. But prior to Clarice leaving, we get, again, a very iconic gum in your hair.
Ooh.
I gotta say, I've
say
gotten gum in my hair, and I never needed to get a Peter Pan haircut. I'm just saying, like, there's other ways. So, I don't know about it.
Wait a second. This is the most dramatic haircut.
It's really
Have we heard of peanut butter? What about olive oil? What about conditioner?
What about a shower? Like, anything at all. Anything at all would do, and I guess... I don't know. We just had to cut it all off, so LOL.
But listen, that's an evil but awesome move that if someone is really shitty in your life and you need to get rid of them, just a quick hug goodbye, gum spit in the hair. I mean, that's a move. That's a move right there.
You think the gum would stick, though? Because I was wondering about, like, where the spit went.
Really not. She'd have to really, like, grab the hair in her mouth.
That's what I thought.
It would have fallen out.
I don't know. Not. I was just trying to think of the mechanics of it, but it's also a 90s movie with the Olsen twins, so...
True. All
right.
But the setup is started, and we have Kate Jordan Peele horses.
It is Jordan Peele horses! Oh my god. Now, this, I gotta tell you, for Girl Scouts, y'all, we would go to a camp, and there were horses, and I always loved to ride the horses, but when we were at camp riding horses, I couldn't just, like, get a horse as, like, a kid, and, like, off I go on my own. Like, you had to go on a tour, so I thought it was really funny how they're like, we're just, like, by ourselves on horses, and Kirstie Alley's like, I don't really feel comfortable on a horse, and I was like, uh-oh, the adult doesn't know how to ride, I'm scared.
We also had some great lines that said, haven't you ever seen a Western? And then Kirstie Alley goes, the last Western I saw was an omelet.
Which is definitely a line our dad would have said, so, yep.
Absolutely would have said. I could not follow.
And then these fucking adults have no peripheral vision. They are like Mike Wheeler in the car with Will. Can't see 2 inches in front of them, next to them, nothing. Because they both lose their one child on a giant mammal.
And don't get stressed about it either. They're just like, well, I guess that's that.
Where'd they go? Weird. I'm like, that is weird. Maybe
that's your job, adults.
As well. I don't know. What do I know?
Oh my god.
And then I hate that we slingshot a horse's butt, but alright, it's fine.
I mean...
Gotta get Kirstie Alley to have some trauma, you know.
Yes, and then Steve Guttenberg and the white horse comes and saves her, and he has a look to him, which I gotta say, like, he had a look, and he goes and saves her, and again, we never ever question where the children are, ever.
No. Even afterwards, they're not like, uh-oh, should we find our kids now that we horse ran a mile away from our location? Nope, alright, it's cool, nothing at all. No, and then Steve Guttenberg hits a tree branch, which we're all like, LOL, it's so funny. And then this leads him to invite her back to his castle.
Okay, but wait, I want your opinion on this. Okay. As much as these two actors are, like, annoying now in 2022, Kirstie Alley, Steve Guttenberg, I felt like Kirstie Alley kind of carried it.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Like, she was really good, and Steve Guttenberg was like, I am always in surprised face, and I'm just rich, and I'm getting married, I'm a dad, and you're like, oh my god, have a personality, sir.
No, Kirstie Alley's character was way better because she, I felt like, stood up for herself, even though she was like, wah, being single sucks. Like, she also then later, like, fucking walks away from him a bunch of times when he's being a dingaling. So I was like, I loved it. That's right. That's fucking right. And this is where he talks about his cell phones in the airspace, and I still don't know about that.
Well, and she responds, which I think is, like, the appropriate way. She was like, wow.
I was response when you don't know what's happening.
That is like me at a Bitcoin party. It's like, really? Ooh. So what should I buy? What should I buy? Oh my god.
And then Clarice cockblocks, on the phone. And
well, okay, let's give Clarice a little bit,
Bridget,
like,
don't defend the gum and the hair.
Not the hair. The haircut is not defended. But if I'm about to get married to somebody and they're like, oh, I just have a lady over from camp for a meeting, I'd be like, that's a horrific lie.
Yeah, I mean, Steve Guttenberg should have just, broken it off with Clarice, but he's a little bitch, so...
Exactly,
now
Kate.
That's the way we have this set up, and it's weird. But this is where Diane's like, fuck off, I'm gonna leave, because you're on the phone. And I was like,
Yeah. He's like, he was like, there's nothing going on. And Kirstie Alley's like, really? Because you just showed up in a white horse and saved me, and I thought we were gonna be married over the fence World Series kind of love.
You just conked your head on a tree branch, and that means love.
Oh my god, the scene where he's like, my head hurts, and then she puts iodine on it,
and she blows on it.
Yeah, he's like, ow, ow, and she blows on it, and that's when he's like, I'm in love. I was like, oh my
pretty
god.
low standards.
Vincenzo's like, I had it planned all along.
Yeah, Steve Guttenberg should have married Vincenzo with those standards, if we're being honest.
Okay, so Kirstie Alley's like, I have standards, I'm out of here. And Steve Guttenberg's like, whoopsie doodle. And we basically then, the twins are like, God damn it. And they're like, oh, what do we do now? And then Vincenzo's like, Stevie Pooh. He was very much like Gandalf. He's like, I think you should get in a car and just see where you go. And then Steve Guttenberg was like, Frodo, so the ring with Sam, where?
What?
I don't know, I got
a little lost in there, but I get it. Maybe. Yeah, so, and this is all, same day, right? So,
this is a wild 24 hours of gum in the hair to wedding
horse
to...
rides? Diane storms away, and then literally 10 minutes later, he's like, Vincenzo, I'm in love. Vincenzo's like, you better drive around, bitch, and find out what's happening. And then he does. And then, meanwhile, Diane is at the camp, and they get a call. I don't know how the fuck Butt Kisses got this number, but somebody's calling, and they're like, they want to adopt Amanda. Here, during camp, her only joy in life is an orphan. We're gonna interrupt.
Oh my god, awful.
Fucking bullshit. And then Diane was like, I want to adopt her, and then they laugh at her, and I was like, again, I hate all of this.
And, okay, can you imagine if your coworker sees you in your most vulnerable moment saying, I want to adopt her, and they laugh at her, and your coworker's like, oh man, that Katie really had it out. And then that coworker's like, oh, by the way, here's the kid, goodbye, Butt Kisses.
Fucking can't.
She was right to scream at them and said, you couldn't have stalled, you couldn't have waited for me, you couldn't have done anything, and they were just like, that's policy. I was like, you're the worst. Y'all are the worst.
Yep.
Vincenzo would not have let this happen.
No, Vincenzo would have got shit done. And so, yeah, and now, oh, you know what? This is not the same day because they do some s'mores shit. And then there's, the next day is when Roger drives to the camp.
It feels like time is in warp speed.
It's essentially the same day. So when Roger goes to camp, he's like, oh, Diane, let's have lunch. And she's like, well, I gotta help out at the mess hall because we're having mac and cheese. No vegetables or other options. Just mac and cheese. Made by children, by the way, which is what we complain about the Butt Kisses for later, but it's fine. It's fucking fine. It's all good.
But this is a critical scene because, like we have learned, Quentin Tarantino, you gotta get the action. So this movie was like, wait a second, the last action scene was a horse. We gotta get this going. Food fight! and I was like, every kid, by the way, that watched this movie was like, I wish I could throw mac and cheese at everybody! I mean, food fights are the best.
Have you ever been in a food fight?
I feel like it was not at this level where everybody had to be at 100% effort food fight. Whenever you have a food fight, it's always like a group in the corner that gets over the top and then everyone being like, wah. It's like, I want an actor-directed food fight.
Me too. I've never been in one.
Right?
Yeah.
That actually, I bet you to millennials, we could sell that experience like a pop-up.
Oh, boy.
I'm just going to tell you that right now, trademarking it. That would be fucking awesome.
Pay for an It Takes Two food fight experience.
Everybody wears the hats with the flowers. We all throw mac and cheese at each other.
Afterwards, y'all jump in a lake.
And maraschino cherries come on top of you. I'm just saying that's freaking brilliant, okay? Because we all wanted that.
Oh my god.
And if you get a special lottery ticket, you get to be Steve Guttenberg where the whole thing goes on your head.
Whoa!
All right, so sorry.
And then you can also pay for Vincenzo spying on you with spyglass across the lake.
Okay, what a creep was he?
a lot. Things got a little uncomfortable in this lake scene, I
he
gotta
was
say.
so creepy when he was like, that's its way to go. And then Clarice shows up and she's like, well, he couldn't be looking at the stars. It's not dark. Oh. And I gotta say, she was not like, oh, that's Steve. What a jerk. He's cheating on me or he doesn't love me. Her move was, we're gonna get married tomorrow. And I thought, wow. I expected her to like scream at him and then him to be like, I'm so sorry. I love you. And her to be like, absolutely. Then if you love me, marry me tomorrow. Instead, she was just like a freaking bat out of hell.
I think she just wants the money, please. And not the lovey, please.
I guess. But I mean,
yeah.
You could always get divorced. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, there's had to be a prenup, no?
I would think if you're a bajillionaire, but what do I know?
If you created airspace.
Well, this is another part where they almost kiss, which, like, Steve! But they get cock-blocked by canoes, and then he kind of makes weird comments, and then this is when he finally tells her, I'm engaged, and she's got a great reaction. She just goes, well, of course you are! And she fucking goes and leaves, and I'm like, hell yeah, Diane!
This is why she carried, like, acting for this movie.
So
I felt
great.
like, oh my god.
Oh, yeah. But then, okay, so then immediately after this is where Clarice is like, okay, we're getting married tomorrow. And he's like, ooh, okay. Like, he doesn't even object. He's just like, oh, whatever you want. Yay. And then the twin, or the not twin, whatever, the girls, the Olsen girls, they decide, don't worry, third time's a charm. We're going to write fake letters to each other to have them both meet somewhere. And then that's going to fix it. And
can you imagine the handwriting on this letter? Because it's a 9-year-old.
Like little chicken scratch with like a flower and a heart as the dots for eyes. It's like, this is from Roger? What?
Can you imagine her being like, wow, Roger drew a sun in the corner. Like, I cannot. It was just so freaking ridiculous.
I cannot. But fucking Diane, so she goes because she's able to. Roger isn't able to go because he's like literally getting shipped off to New York. So fine. But Diane shows up and I wrote, Diane, don't dress like you're going to a funeral to meet Roger. Girl! This goes back to what you said. She was wearing like an extra large like t-shirt and like pants. And they were all black. And I was like, who died?
Literally the crew from The Craft, like Nancy from The Craft was about to like come out and be like, I was her stylist. Pay me.
This was the 90s. So yeah. But pretty quickly then Diane's like, he's not coming. And then Amanda, who's not Amanda, who's actually Alyssa, gets kidnapped in the woods by the butt kisses.
Oh my god.
It's horrific. And then she gets taken away, kicking and screaming in a car. Like, that's a horror movie of its own.
Jordan Peele.
Jordan Peele, that's for you. Played for laughs. And then Amanda, who is acting as Alyssa, is also in New York. So now everybody's going to New York, and we're like, fuck the camp, now we're in New York.
And by the way, this is some Independence Day driving timeline because I just assume it takes 10 minutes to get to New York City.
I don't know where this camp is, but I don't think it's in Staten Island, okay? I'm just saying.
Oh my god. But it's okay, because if you get in trouble, call Lou. He'll know what to do. And I gotta say, we all need a Lou. Am I right?
I would love a Lou.
I would freaking love a Lou.
That would be great.
But in epic fashion, Amanda, who was playing Alyssa at the wedding, walks down the aisle so slow. I felt like they're comedy. Like, I understand why they became so popular.
Yeah.
They're funny.
Oh,
they were
great.
funny when I was 9. They're funny when I'm an adult. Like, they're just really funny. I don't know. I mean, I know the accents were over the top, but I was like laughing for a lot of the scenes.
Oh, it was so good. And she's walking so slow, and then literally Clarice she just runs, and then everyone starts running, and the organ player is like,
the priest was perfect in that scene because he was just like, oh.
Oh, it was so good. And then meanwhile, while that train wreck is happening, Alyssa, playing Amanda, who was adopted by the butt kisses, is immediately put into a slave labor camp at a trash heap, and I am upset about it, and that's terrible.
And she gets called Betty?
She's Betty. That's her name. Now,
I mean,
I don't think you should rename a 10-year-old.
I just like, the thing that's so sad, Kate, is like, these are like real stories. Like, it's all like, I'm telling you, there's like saxophones, like, wow, 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 in the background, but like, it's like so sad that like, these are real stories that people just collect kids to do work for them. Like,
and then the fucking other adopted siblings also join in on the bullying, and I was like, this is not the way. You all need to band together. There's more of you than the butt kisses.
I was thinking that too. I was like, you have officially, you could actually take them now. You're a basketball team.
You guys have never seen Bug's Life, and it shows, okay? I'm just saying. Anyway, well, Diane figures out somehow where the fuck they are, and she also, in the same time, finds out about child slavery. And this is where Lou with the helicopter comes in, and now we rescued, who the fuck? Alyssa. Alyssa. And now we have to get to the church. And Bridge, I mean, you lived in the city. How often were helicopters landing in Central Park?
I was in a softball league that played at Central Park. And no helicopters would land where an Olsen twin would fly out. And I gotta say, I wish I could have frickin' seen it. How awesome would that be?
That would have been really great.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's one law broken, and then we steal a horse and carriage. That's another law broken.
But we buy the guy off later.
Oh, fuck, don't get me started on that.
Oh my god.
Well, we're finally all at the church, and then Clarice is like, quick, hurry up. And she's got fucking lipstick on her teeth, which I never noticed before. Did you notice that?
I noticed now as an adult, but I did not as a kid.
Never as a kid saw that.
But finally Steve Guttenberg was like, I can't. And you're like, wow, this is all keys.
Should have said that yesterday or the day before.
Yeah, but then again, you're thinking, wow, I guess Clarice Kensington acting is over. But boy, does it just get started.
Oh my god.
Because she screams at the top of her lungs, I have never been more embarrassed in my life. And then her dress falls down and her undies show.
It's like kind of horrific. Like,
I really was
don't get me started on the bullying.
Okay.
Because like, don't kick a dog when it's down, you know? Like,
I thought about that. I was like, guys, you already won. Now you're showing her undies? Yikes. And then, not only does she have her Carrie Bradshaw moment where she like runs out of the church.
Literally thought of Sex in the City!
But then Kirstie Alley and Steve Guttenberg make out 2 seconds later. I was like, guys, this is the moment you get a room. Her father's just walking out of the church. This is super awkward. It's like all of your family members dropped everything, which, by the way, when you moved the wedding up a day, okay, and they dropped everything they was doing to show up for you, and now you're just making out with a hussy in the corner.
Was a hussy in the corner. I also want to point out, there's a really great line Clarice says, which I thought was so fucking funny, where when she finally sees Amanda and Alyssa, and they're both there, and she goes, oh my god, there's 2 of them. It's a conspiracy!
I love
which,
that.
like, she's not wrong.
I mean, they did conspire against her.
Which is so fucking funny.
But she wanted to, like, hit children. I thought that was weird.
That's not funny. Child abuse, orphans, child slavery, dead moms. It's the 90s. Play a saxophone. It's good.
I'm now reading the line. I got it wrong. I have never been more humiliated in my life. And then Alyssa goes, wanna bet. And then steps on her dress. And I do think the wanna bet line might have been like 50 times in the movie.
Definitely. Because the 90s. Wanna bet?
And Kate, how about this last line?
Bridge.
Huh? Kate, well, ladies, oh, it was you, huh? This was you. And they're both like, and then Steve Guttenberg goes, well, what do you have to say for yourselves? Kate, 3, 2, 1.
So kiss
already. I was embarrassed for them. I swear the Olsen sisters must look at this and be like, I cannot believe these were our lines, but we're millionaires. Let's move on with our lives. My God.
Yeah, and their kiss was lame. Also, I wrote getting peer pressured to kiss by 10-year-olds.
It's so awkies.
Well, and then Steve Guttenberg's like, well, the only thing to do now that I've ruined another woman's life for no reason, is to buy this horse, because not to fund the children's orphanage orphanage or save the orphans at the scrapyard, by the way. No. What's more important is that we all get on this horse and buggy. And by the fucking way, Vincenzo, I think, bought the horseman's hat because he's wearing it in the last scene. And why did you also buy that, sir?
Vincenzo. I mean, he's got a weird side to him, like creeping on people in the middle of the day, taking hats.
He's got a friend named Lou. I don't know. It's like,
Who's Lou?
Who's Lou? Lou who?
So,
wow.
Would you watch it or don't watch it?
So I enjoyed watching it again, but I also haven't seen it in a long time, and I don't think I'm gonna watch it anytime soon. But I thought it was fun.
I would watch this a lot.
You'd watch it a lot? Oh, that's great.
Because it reminds you of your childhood in every sense. The dialogue, the characters, the dumb stuff they were doing, the fashion, and the stupidity of, like, plots. Like, 90s plots are so stupid. It was just, like, the best. I loved it. I was, like, here for it. And then even moments, like, when Amanda, like, got to the mansion and she takes out her gum and sticks it on her bedpost. I did that, like, a lot. Like, to the point that there was, like, gum stains. And I remember being like, did I get that from this movie? Like, did little me be like, that's what I need to do and stick gum there so I don't end up with that Peter Pan haircut?
I was gonna say, it's better than sticking it in your hair, so.
Oh, man. Well, it's that time again, Kate.
It's that time. Woo!
And it's my pick.
Whee!
And I'm going to do a listener pick.
A listener pick?
Yes.
Oh, it's been a minute.
This comes a New York minute. Ooh.
Oh, that also I think was a Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen movie.
That's why I said it.
Oh my god, I'm so fucking sorry. I think this is the only Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen movie I've seen.
Okay.
Besides Full House. Okay.
This is a listener pick, and this listener's name is Molly.
Molly?
Molly, it's so hard for me not to make a drug reference, but I won't, but I did, but I won't.
Okay.
There's a really good Netflix documentary about psychedelic drugs.
All right.
That's besides the point. So, Molly, let me, I'm sure you're a wholesome person. First of all, Molly writes, I love you all so much, and we love you, Molly. Are you joking? Stop. Stop.
Molly, girl.
We love you.
Love you.
She is from Ohio, and that's all we know about Molly. So,
okay.
You guys can write more next time so we know more about you. But that's it. But I think this is such a good pick.
Okay.
Like, you're going to die. And I thought, wait, why haven't we done this yet? But we haven't. And you're gonna I hope you're ready for it.
Haven't.
And Kate, it is the best year for movies.
1993!
You got it.
Oh.
Okay, are you ready for this?
Yeah.
This is an American, comedy drama film.
Ooh.
And why don't they give me more to the sentence?
That's all you get.
If I describe any piece of the plot, you'll know.
Okay.
But I'll give you a hint that when we watched Independence Day, there was a character that made us think of this movie.
Oh.
And he was, which will go back to our epic merch that is on our site, Believe Russell Case's daughter. Who is the daughter?
Oh, Mrs. Doubtfire daughter?
Yeah!
Is this Mrs. Doubtfire?
Yes!
Oh my god! Oh, Robin Williams!
Which is basically a stalker movie, but we all love Robin Williams, so we're here for it.
So, like, he dresses in drag! Whee! Wait, and also the other guy from Independence Day, who dies horrifically, but we never mention his name again. Oh my fucking god. I gotta get a quote. I have to get a quote for this one.
Our mother, for our entire childhood, would open the door whenever she came home and go, hello!
I feel like we have some episodes where we start off like that, and then we're always like, oh, I'm so sorry. This is Mrs.
No,
Doubtfire.
I do that.
So sorry.
I do that to James, and he's like, hey. And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
And then you're like, I'm sorry, I don't have a cake on my face, so you don't get the same effect. So, oh my god, there's so many fucking good lines in this movie! Also, Pierce Brosnan.
Sally Field.
Mara Wilson!
Let's do it. Molly, excellent pick.
Oh my god, Molly. Bless
Top
your
tier
heart.
pick.
Love that. Well, Bridge.
Yeah?
Just want to say, if you were not my sister, but we were identical somehow. And you were an orphan. I would switch places with you, but I would also be like, listen, my dad, like, kind of needs some, like, alone. Like, we can't set him up with someone because he doesn't know what he wants in life. And, like, maybe I'll just talk him into adopting you. Like, isn't that, like, okay? Like, wouldn't that be cool? And, like, I would do that.
Wow, that would be a much better plot.
Yeah.
Wow.
We didn't do that, but could have.
Okay.
Bridge.
If I somehow create a business that makes money like cell phone airways, okay, and I get so rich, I am going to create this mother effing food fighting pop-up It Takes Two shop in major cities around the United States. Woo! And we're going to show up and throw mac and cheese in strangers' faces.
Yes! And then jump in a lake.
We'll also have to do it by a lake. Absolutely.
Oh, I love that. And listeners, if you also love food fights and mac and cheese and helping orphans, especially if you're super rich, and not buying horses when you don't need another horse, Steve Guttenberg. If you love all of that, are you with me? You should write us a review.
Hey!
We love reviews. We love written reviews. You can review us on Apple Podcasts along with some other podcasting apps. We also have a website, sisterswhoseenit.com. On our website, you can be like Molly, because Molly went on our website and she filled out the movie request form. So if you would like to request a movie, you can go on there and do that. We do keep a list, and then we do go through the movies. It's not every week, but as you can see, we revisit it. And yeah, and Bridge, what else can we do on our website?
They can buy us coffee.
Whee!
That is in the About You page or on our Instagram link tree.
Yes.
However, the more exciting thing, I think, on our website is our merchandise.
Yeah.
If you listen to an episode, you become one of the sissies. You get the inside scoop. And from the inside scoop, we're creating merchandise. And I cannot wait for all those that listen to Independence Day to check out our epic t-shirt that we just added there. And I gotta say, it's pretty epic. And I'm just gonna leave it like that. You gotta go check it out. You gotta look at it. It's a teaser. It's a teaser. But if you listen to Independence Day and you laughed along with us, you need to look at this shirt. And I hope you even laugh harder. And I'm gonna leave it at that. And if you like it so much, you should buy it for yourself, for your friends. Take a picture, tag us. Let's do this. Let's do
this. Yes.
Get it.
So check all that out, listeners, and we hope to hear from you. All right. Well, we'll see y'all next week for Mrs. Doubtfire. It was a run by fruiting. Oh, there's so many for this fucking movie. Oh my god.
Oh my god, we meet this guy again. You remember him from Independence Day?
Oh my
Let's
god,
do it.
now I have to watch the fucking Broad City episode where they recreate the dinner scene and Mara Wilson plays the waitress on the show. I can't. Oh my god. It's so amazing. Oh, listeners, check in next week. It's gonna be great. Oh my god.
Listen, it just takes two, y'all.
Just takes
Have
two.
Fun. Love ya. Olsen
you.
twins. Enjoy your peace. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Sisters Who Seen It. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Check out our website at sisterswhoseenit.com, where you can email us, request movies to be reviewed, and keep up to date with all things sisters. Also, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. See you next week.